Have you ever wondered how those videos that look like a movie are made? And would you believe me, there is an easy way to do it? It is as easy as right-click, make cinematic. Well, it's not that easy, but that's what the customers think. I used to spend a lot of time editing the color of my videos. Even if it's fun, the learning curve is huge. At least at the beginning, the results do not always match the efforts. I am really glad the Dehancer team approached me. The Dehancer Video is a plugin that helps you make your video look like a real film, or as many call it, cinematic. Well, it is not that easy. For real, the Dehancer is a plugin that emulates the analog film. It has some effects like grain, halation, bloom, and many other stuff. So if you are into these cinematic or vintage vibes, this is definitely for you. Here is a video I color graded with the Dehancer for my traveling channel. If you want to see the full video, the link is in the description below.
Make a life for myself.
There is some pros and cons of using the Dehancer. Let's break it down with the pros. Number 1, the film emulation looks like authentic film. There is some profile of film stocks like Kodak, Fuji, and many others, and they look like the real thing. It's not like a filter that you apply, it is like a real film stock. The first time I used it, I was super impressed of how much it changed. It's like you have an analog camera with you. Number 2, it is not just about the film profiles. The Dehancer also has some tools that simulate defects on the lenses. For instance, halation and bloom make it look super authentic and beautiful. This is some of the effects that I like the most. As well, there is grain, the one that you have in real film. It is not like an overlay that you have static all the time, but it is changing in the same way that the film is rotating and it changes by every frame. This looks very authentic and is beautiful. It is worth to try. Number 3, the interface is inside Davinci Resolve, so you don't have to use another window or go somewhere else or search stuff. It's completely intuitive and everything inside the same program. Number 4, the workflow is really customizable, so you can really fine-tune every single setting in the Dehancer to make your footage look exactly as you need. Now let's talk about the cons. Number 1, you need a very powerful computer. I am editing in a MacBook Pro M3 Max 16 inches and it is butter smooth. Everything plays without lock and I can apply as much effects as I want without any problem. But if you are editing in anything less powerful, please let me know in the comments below how is the experience for you. Number 2, the Dehancer is really a premium plugin. So if you're a professional, it definitely justifies the price. But if you are doing it for hobby, it may seem like it's expensive. Then for you, you can use my code to get 10% discount. Number 3, at the beginning there is some learning curve because even if it's super intuitive, you need to do some research of what is halation, bloom, and how film simulation exactly works. There are not the same settings that you may be used to for editing a video. There is some new stuff that you have to learn. Alright, let's jump into a quick tutorial. This is how you can elevate your footage using the Dehancer. So, first of all, we will go to Davinci Resolve. Here I already have a footage that I did in Japan. From here we will go into the color page. I would like to have more spacing to my interface, so I will hide the clips. I am only working with one. And here we already have one node. Let me reset the node. This node doesn't have any changes by now. And from here, the first thing that we will do is add a Dehancer node. So here I already have the Dehancer. I put it on it. You can already see how much this image changed. For this tutorial we will work in normal fast, so it processes quicker. If you want to change the setting at the end of the video, you can put it in high slow. It will take more time to render, but the result will be better. So, first of all, we will tell to Davinci Resolve through Dehancer which format do we want to work in. So, something very cool that Dehancer has is that you can say which camera did you use for your shot. So here I will say, okay, my camera is a Sony, and it's the Sony A7 IV, so Alpha 7 IV, and the format is S-Log3 Gamut Cinema, and as you can see, already looks completely different. I just put the plugin and it's already looking very good. So after this, we will choose our film profile. This is one of the highlights of Dehancer. This time we will work with the Kodak Portra 800. I like this one very much, but feel free to try all of them. They are very interesting. And now let's jump into some of the settings that I like to use for editing my footage. Let's go into print, and in profile I like to choose Kodak Endura Glossy Paper. It makes it look like it was printed, and it gives a completely unique look to the footage. It's completely different than applying a filter or these kind of things I told you before. If you need to move any settings like exposure or tonal contrast or so on, feel free to do it. I will do it here to show you what it does. It's not your typical exposure like the one you have in other programs. This one really works in how the film will look like. Let's put here a bit more of light, and contrast I feel is already enough. Let's put maybe a bit less. Try how it looks. Now let's go into the film grain. I will leave it as it is. I like it very much. It's a bit strong, but when you do it like this and export it into YouTube, the algorithm tends to erase it. So I like to exaggerate it a little bit, and in this case, I think as it comes per default is pretty good. Now let's go into halation and let's enable it. Look what it does. It becomes a little bit warmer, and what I like about it is that it creates like this defect from the old lenses. It looks very interesting. Let's exaggerate it a bit to understand exactly what it does. So here it is without it, and here it is with it. So without it and with it. Let's put it into 70%. Now let's add some bloom. This is one of my favorite things because the bloom is what makes the footage look really dreamy. It's my favorite setting in Dehancer. So here it is without it, and here it is with it. I will exaggerate it a bit so you see what it does. If you notice, some of the highlights have like a gloomy effect. For instance, here next to this white surface, and here kind of next to the hair, it creates this glowing effect. I will put it again, disable and enable. It really makes your footage pop immediately. Let's put a bit less, I think around, let's say 60%. I like how it looks, and it's already looking very dreamy. There is some other effects you can feel free to try, like film damage. For this footage in specific, I don't want to use it, but I want to show it. Let's put it very exaggerated and let's play it. Do you notice it has all of this damage from the old film, like scratch and so on? But this one is really if you want to make it look very vintage. For this footage I don't want to use it, so I will keep it disabled. Now let's go into the vignette and let's enable the mask. to understand how it will look like, and enable it. So right now it's on this point. I would like to make it wider. So I would like it to have this aspect ratio and to be bigger. Yeah, something like this. And I think that is fine. Let's put, still in mask mode. When you use the mask mode, it's only to understand where is it positioned. Otherwise, it's difficult to know. So after it is there, you can change the exposure, and you see, I will do it drastically so you can see what happens. I like to use only a little bit. Here it's a bit too strong. Let's go to mask mode and make it bigger. Take it out. I like to exaggerate it to see what I'm doing. And here in feather, you can say how strong do you like to be the step between the dark part and the bright part. So let's put it around here, 72. And let's pull back the exposure to just a little bit. Something around here. Let's play it now. And as you can see, with just a couple of clicks, the footage is already looking amazing in comparison with how it was before. Also, achieving the same result by yourself would be very complicated and will have a lot of tweaking. With this plugin, is a couple of clicks and you're good to go. Let's see how it was before and after. Before and after. There is other cool effects like this gate wave, and it makes it look very wavy. I don't like this effect so much, but this is very vintage. I think it may work for some types of really old style effects if you want to apply it. For this footage I will not. Well, and that's it. Those are the settings that I like to use to edit my footage in a quick way, and I think the results are very good. And achieving this by myself, just editing the color directly, will take me way longer, and I will need at least 10 notes more in Davinci. So is the Dehancer worth it? I would say if you're serious about cinematic footage, definitely. There is as well the price tag and the learning curve, but I think the results are amazing, so I personally think it is worth it. I would like to know, have you ever used Dehancer? Please let me know in the comments below how was your experience. If you want to buy Dehancer with 10% discount, you can use my code in the description below. By the way, the Dehancer Colorist Awards are live now, so if you want to submit your footage, this is your time to shine. Stay creative, stay inspired, and see you in the next one.